Okay, so let's just get right into it. The episode starts off with Jackie in Brazil. They discussing the situation that happened at the Glad event. And in my opinion, South America is not a confident young woman. She's 23 years old. And I just think that, her chubbiness and her dry weave is what's really bothering her because she sat there and just fucking hated on Malaysia, just like she fucking hated on Brandy. She's in up here saying that Malaysia wasn't the beautiful thing, isn't the best looking person in the world, nor that she has a better body. Bitch, you here not talk about nobody body. I mean, really, you really can't talk about nobody body. You shape like a damn turkey. I mean, then your face is really chubby. I mean, you look like ground beef, bitch. So you can't really talk about nobody body and nobody's looks. And I'm not gonna say that you're an ugly person because you're really not. But you really need to get your body intact. And I'm not the type of person to come for nobody's body weight or anything like that. But when you become a raging ass bitch like Miss Pork Chop Price back on R&B Divas LA, that's when I'm gonna come for your juggler. And bitch, somebody needs to come for you because you really get on my motherfucking nerves, China, for real. Like, you steady coming for everybody's looks and weight because you are insecure with yourself. So cut the bullshit, okay? And then you got Miss Jackie. She's sitting up here talking about Drea and how she's pissed off at Drea or whatnot because she didn't come to her event. Jackie, what you got to understand is, yes, you did need to tell Drea what was going on with Orlando and Chantel. You did need to tell her that. As a friend, you're supposed to do that. However, there's a way to do a lot of things. You're not supposed to sit there and discuss your so-called friend's business with two other people. That's not the way you're supposed to do that. And you already knew that Miss Friday evening over here wanted to be messy and she wanted to see the whole thing go down because she's a messy ass bitch with nothing else to do but sit around here and bathe in Crisco grease because the bitch stay greasy all the time. That's what the fuck she wanted to do. So that's why I just don't get how you're not seeing her point of view. Bitch, the whole situation was messy and you knew it was. So stop trying to act like you innocent. Because that's all Jackie has been doing. She always stirring up the pot and then when the shit blow up, she wanna pretend like she a fucking victim. Then she wanna come for the woman's pussy mouths and shit. Like, why are you trying to clock her pussy mouths? Like, what does that have to do with you? You talking about you want to school her into respecting herself. You don't respect yourself half the time you on camera. Look at your hair. Look at the way you dress. Look at your demeanor. Look at your attitude. There is nothing positive about you, bitch, and I wish you would see that it's not. So, Malaysia and Drea, they go working out, and they discuss Malaysia's altercation with Russia. And Malaysia pretty much said that she explained everything to Drea, and she was Drea was like, well, what is the issue with British? Y'all don't even know each other from a can of paint, which they really don't. And Malaysia just said that she didn't really have time for it. She don't want to see a saggy ass titties. She don't want to see a dry ass weave. None of us want to see it. So we're all in agreement with Malaysia, aren't we? You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Malaysia and Dre are pretty much just over the likes of Jackie Christie and the continent. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's over them. They're out there. The both of them are just over them at this point. So it really doesn't matter at this point. What they do is say Malaysia is over Russia and Dre is pretty much over Jackie's messy ass. And I'll be over their ass too if you. Honestly, if you will, I would be over their ass too. They are messy as fuck and they are so jealous. Especially, I have never seen nobody as jealous as French. French is very jealous and she really needs to check her motherfucking self. So, Brandy in Malaysia goes out to meet with 7 whole days. And 7 whole days, well, Brandy in Malaysia wants to bring 7 whole days out so they can get to know her outside of Jackie because there's a lot of things that she probably has been told about them. So they want to bring her out so they can meet up and just try to get to know each other. So 7 whole days gets there and she's very thankful that Brandy in Malaysia want to give her a chance. So she immediately gets into Malaysia and talk about how Malaysia and South America needs to sit down and have a conversation about their issues. Malaysia ain't trying to hear this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, she don't want to talk to Mexico at all about what was going on. And I really don't blame her because at the end of the day, Puerto Rico was a childish ass bitch. I mean, she sit up there and talking about how Malaysia is a bitch and how, she gives her dry hellos. It was pretty childish. So I really don't blame Malaysia for not wanting to interact with Cuba. However, 7 whole days had a point where she said, well, me, I feel like I didn't have nothing to say to Brandy, but we're sitting here talking about being cordial. So I just really feel like you and Nigeria need to have a talk. And Malaysia just ain't hearing it. She wanted to do, that's when 7 whole days decides that she wants to do like a trip to Palm Springs. And Malaysia pretty much made it certain that if she wants to get all the women together, don't invite her and British. You have to choose one or the other. It might be a little bit petty, but at the end of the day, if you don't want to be around the bitch, then you just don't want to be around the bitch. That's how it is. Like, if you ain't ready to face this bitch, then you don't need to be ready to face this bitch, period. And plus, you know what I'm saying? Friday evening ain't really her girl like that anyway, so it's not like she's obligated to come. So we get into Brandy. She tries to convince Malaysia and Drea to go to Palm Springs. Drea is over Jackie. She don't want to see Jackie. She pissed off at Jackie, and it is what it is. She just don't want to go to Palm Springs. And who could blame her? Because gonna be nothing but a bunch of drama, as we saw in the preview. So Brandy was like, if I could sit down and talk to Sunday evening, then I'm pretty sure that you guys can talk about your issues. And like I said, I can't say it enough. Drea was pretty much over Jackie, but Brandy's trying her best to convince Malaysia and Drea to go to Palm Springs. She don't want to go by herself. So Jackie in the entire week decides, they meet up and they want to discuss the possible trip to Palm Springs. And the entire week tells Jackie that she wants to do the Palm Springs trip, and she tells Jackie that everyone is invited but British. Jackie really isn't feeling the idea that Japan is not invited to the trip. However, the whole entire week decides to tell her that because of the simple fact that Malaysia hasn't sat down with Pacific Ocean at all to talk about their issues. So she really doesn't feel like, as of right now, Atlantic Ocean should not come because of the simple fact that South Pole hasn't sat down and talked to Malaysia about their issues. You know what I mean? Which is pretty much understandable. You know what I mean? Like, if Antarctica and Malaysia hasn't talked about their issues yet, then why should we make them sit down and talk? I mean, they're not ready to speak to each other. So, and plus they're both not willing, and it's not going to be a good situation. So it is what it is. So we get into Palm Springs, and Brandy arrives alone, which makes Wednesday afternoon and Jackie anticipate drama. And Brandy pretty much lets Jackie know that if she was Drea, she would have got pissed off at Jackie too for blurting out her business in front of the likes of other people. If you're really someone's friend, then that's when you're supposed to talk to them woman to woman on, one-on-one. You don't blurt out no shit like that when you're supposed to be somebody's friend. But Jackie ain't trying to hit it because she's talking about whether she gave her the information or not. She would have been mad. It's not the information that making her mad, bitch. It's the way that you presented it to her, and you presented it in a messy ass way. And you really need to understand that that's what you did, bitch. Honestly, like, Jackie really seems to think that she doesn't do any wrong, and she does. So they're anticipating nothing but drama. And when Malaysia and Drea gets there, this is pretty much the end of the episode. And it looks like next week's episode is going to be all about Palm Springs. And I can't wait to see Drea punch the shit out of Sunday in her motherfucking face, because that bitch needs to get popped. I mean, 2 weeks later needs to be popped so bad, it don't make no sense. So with that being said, y'all, I know this review was probably short as hell, but this episode, and this was probably the first episode of the season that I really wasn't feeling like that. And I only wrote down 6 notes on my phone, so it really don't matter. Follow me on Twitter at www.twitter.com/Mr_still standing without the G. Follow me on Instagram at rebellious_Scotty, and make sure y'all go to my Team Scotty page on Facebook. Just type in Team Scotty and like it. I want to send special shout outs to Gigs. I want to send a special shout out to Adrian Expressions, Justin Jakes, 1232, Forest Rocks, Bounty Blue, Ashley Miller, Delicious Queen 83, Alexander Rogers, New Orleans Lil, just a few people that I love and support. And I'm out of here, y'all. Till next time, peace.